Hello, this is Mr. Chavry. We got another battle here. Looking at this team, pretty nice team right here. I'm actually really afraid of the Alakazam, so if we can keep Muck around for that would be great. That's the main thing. We need to keep Muck alive. What do I want to lead with? I think my opponent might lead with the Nidoking to get rocks going. So with that, I'm going to actually lead with my Charizard. I can Mega Evolve and, like, go ahead and Earthquake on the Nidoking. Try to prevent those rocks from getting set up. I think that's my best bet against this team. Get those rocks eliminated right off the bat, and then I can get my own rocks later on. So let's go ahead. There's the Nidoking. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and Mega Evolve and just Earthquake. That is the plan. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. Earthquake, so we can try to get rid of this Nidoking. I do not want rocks up. Rocks would actually make this a really difficult battle. So if we can go ahead and prevent those rocks. I mean, even if we go ahead and Mega Evolve, so that way we're not going to take any half damage to those rocks, it'll be great. But yeah, here we go. It's Mega Evolution going. We're just going to Earthquake. Get rid of these rocks before they're even set up. Okay, it's going to survive. It might even get rocks up now. I was going to Toxic, okay. I mean, that's unfortunate, but there's not much I can do about that, really. I mean, my opponent went for the play that was, I guess, better. I mean, rocks would have been really bad, but let me look at this. My opponent does have Dragonite to come in on an Earthquake, but we can easily outrage that. So I'm just going to Earthquake again. And if Dragonite comes in, we just outrage. Try to get as much damage on our opponent as I can, I think, is what we're going to do right now. I don't want these rocks up. Rocks being set up is like the worst case scenario for us. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try to keep that from happening. Let's get this Earthquake off. Boom, Nidoking is gone. Great. So, with that, what do I want to do? Let's see what my opponent sends out. If I had to make a guess, my opponent might try to send out the Alakazam, get big damage. And I'm kind of nervous about the Alakazam. Really, Mega Alakazam can destroy everything. Quapo, oh, it's going to be this thing. Alright, so I've got a pretty nice switch for that. We're going to go into Venusaur here. Venusaur should be able to take hits from this thing pretty well, so that's what our plan is. Get Venusaur in here. Hydro Pump. I was going to connect, of course, because we're always getting hit with these like low accuracy moves. But with that, let me look at my opponent can switch in. Arcanine's a possible switch in. I want to Sleep Powder. We're going to go ahead and Sleep Powder. I don't think my opponent lets me have this thing because this thing is like pretty threatening against my team. So I'm going to put the Arcanine to sleep. I'm predicting Arcanine to come in. And if I can put that to sleep, that'll be pretty helpful. Arcanine. Yep, this is going to be the Arcanine. Please tell me we connect with this. Thank you, game. Thank you, game. Alright. With that, I feel pretty safe in bringing in Rhydon. Getting my rocks going. I feel safe in doing that. I mean, the most this thing could probably do is close combat me. But yeah, we're just going to get our rocks up here. Rocks are like really helpful against our opponent. So let's get these rocks up. I don't think my opponent lets me have the Arcanine anyway. I think my opponent just switches the Arcanine out and saves it for later. Because it's really good against quite a few Pokemon on my team. we're going to see this thing probably switch out. If I had to make a guess, probably for the Poliwrath. If that happens, we can just easily go back into Venusaur. Venusaur is like a really good matchup against that Poliwrath. Yeah, that's going to be the Poliwrath once again. Those rocks are mighty tasty. Alright, so now, let's go back into Venusaur. And get as much damage on this thing as we can. There's a superpower. We resist that pretty nicely. And that's going to reduce this thing's stats too, so it works out pretty well in our favor. What I want to do is actually click Mega Drain. My opponent might, you know, might not switch. I mean, if I had to make a guess, my opponent's going to go into Arcanine. But I wanted to go ahead and Mega Drain here, just in case my opponent, you know, doesn't. And we're going to see the Arcanine. It's going to start taking some damage. I'm going to get a little bit of health back, not a lot, because this thing got some good bulk and it's resisting the Mega Drain. So, a little bit of health is going to be pretty nice, though. I can easily go into my Rhydon again. This time, click Earthquake. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just click the Earthquake. Take out the Poliwrath. Oh, wake up. Okay, and we're going to get hit with a flamethrower, unfortunately. Please no burn. If we get burnt, that's going to be really bad. Okay, no burn. Make sure... Yeah, Dragonite could be a switch in, but we're just going to go ahead and Earthquake. Just going to go ahead and just Earthquake. Now that Arcanine's asleep, I can put something else to sleep too, so... That'll actually be helpful if we need to. Just Earthquake here. Quapo comes back in, and Quapo is going to take nasty damage from this Earthquake. Alright, and just let Rhydon switch back into Venusaur. So far, it seems to be working out pretty well for us. And with those rocks up, we are seriously whittling away at our opponent every time my opponent makes a switch like that. And this time I'm actually going to click Sludge Bomb, because I think Arcanine's pretty obvious. My opponents went into it every time we had Venusaur out. Even if my opponent stays in, we're going to hit this thing with a Sludge Bomb. And honestly, if my opponent decides not to, it would make sense my opponent switch into something else. Maybe that Dragonite, and if I can hit the Dragonite with a Sludge Bomb, that would be pretty nice. But yeah, I don't think my opponent lets me have Quapo just quite yet. Yeah, this is going to be the Dragonite, okay. Let's see how much damage we get on this thing. Hopefully a lot. I want to sleep powder this thing, but if we miss, it's... I mean, this thing could easily go for an agility, so I'm going to Sludge Bomb again. Ooh, and it's going to hit us with a nasty Ice Beam. Oh, we're going to live that. That is nice. Okay, we could just easily Sludge Bomb. Take out this Dragonite. And Dragonite goes down once it switches in, so I don't think my opponent's going to spare the Dragonite. Honestly, it wouldn't make sense, unless my opponent wants to use it for fodder. But if that's the case, something's going to have to take a Sludge Bomb. Something's going to have to take a Sludge Bomb. Alright, so we're going to see... So that's basically Dragonite gone on its own. And Arcanine's going to come in and take a Sludge Bomb to the face. So really, my opponent just gave me the Arcanine. Just gave me the Arcanine, because Arcanine could still have been a threatening Mon. So Dragonite's basically gone. I think we're probably going to see Alakazam. I think that's what we're going to see is the Alakazam. Yep, there it is. I mean, I could keep Venusaur around. Look at this real quick. I mean, I could keep Venusaur around for fodder. Maybe if I play my cards right later on, I can get it to heal up a little bit. Let's go ahead and go into our Muck. Muck is really good against this Alakazam. And we might see a Psychic. We might not actually, though. But I'll just go ahead and go into Muck. And yep, this is going to be the Mega Zam. Yep, there's a Psychic. Nice, okay. I was kind of worried that we're going to see something else, but with that, I can just crunch. And I'm not too worried about the Poliwrath, because it's already weakened down. Poliwrath is getting weakened down anyway, so I think we just go crunch here. Alright, this is going to go for a Shadow Ball. So, my opponent's just going to let me have the Alakazam. My opponent's just going to let me have this Alakazam. You know, I am okay with that. Alakazam was the biggest threat to my entire team. And with that thing gone, that's very nice. Oh, he DC'd. Okay. I mean, I'll take that as a victory. But yeah, he DC'd there. Interesting, okay. But I think we were on route to win that one anyway. So, yeah, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play it all the way through. But I think my opponent realized we were clearly going to win. I'd rather my opponent forfeit it instead of DCing, but what can you do? It's the game. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next